Are you wanting to change your emotion from perhaps a not so great one, like maybe it's anger, frustration, sadness, into a more empowering emotion? Well, today I'm going to talk about this and make it super, super simple. And if you stay until the end, I've got an extra point for you then as well. Now, before I dive in, if you really want to enhance your self esteem and confidence, all you got to do is click on the link in my description in the show notes, and that will give you a link to signing up for my free newsletter where I'm going to give you weekly insights and tips, and you're going to keep up to date with all the podcast episodes. So just check that out below if you want to be involved with that. So, I've had as any human being has ups and downs in my life. In some intense times, there have been, or difficult times, I have had some intense like fluctuations of mood. Like I could be really happy and really excited, and then really angry and frustrated. And particularly when I've been working through like deep trauma, childhood wounds, and things like that. When I wasn't taking care of myself, that those mood swings have been intense, and that's even happened in the last couple of years. So I want to be real about that. And I've worked with like an emotional coach. I'm doing an emotional program at the moment, a real kind of self mastery program, doing deep somatic work, which is going into the body, looking at this kind of things. And for me, that's been really beneficial. Now, there are times when I might have a bad day and I'm not be as able to keep on top of it as other days. Yet I'm a lot better than handling my emotions than I used to. And what I discovered is actually sitting myself is really, really key. And being able to actually process it and then see what kind of came up, right? Now, often what I've discovered is our thoughts can come from our bodies. And what I mean by this is that Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot, that our unconscious mind, the majority of what our behavior is driven from, that our thoughts and feelings are in our body, not necessarily like our conscious thought and what we're thinking about. And if you've got a lot of like, things that have been really difficult in the past, you've not processed them, that's living in your body in different parts. And that's actually, I'm not going to go too much into the science, but that's why people can get ill from like stress and all these kind of things. And that's something I've had to watch myself because I noticed I was getting quite ill when I got really stressed at times in my life, because that's just your body's building it up, and there are ways to release it like breath work and all sorts of ways. So often our emotion is like coming from that body rather than just like the conscious thought. Now, if you think of something negative all the time, obviously that's going to go into the body. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to the information you're taking in and these patterns you're going through, because that's been stored in our bodies. So ask yourself this: how does it help you just going through the same cycles again and again and not doing anything about it? Well, I'm going to talk about this now and how you can really make some more empowering emotions. So one of the key things for me is a phrase Tony Robbins says: motion creates emotion. And what that means is when you start moving your body, get yourself into a better state, then you can start thinking better. Think about it. Maybe you've exercised, or I hope you've exercised. When you exercise, you start thinking or feeling a little bit better, maybe, even if it like, obviously if you go for a really hard time, it's not going to magically like fix all your problems and you're going to feel amazing suddenly. Yeah, I found when I've been in a neutral place, like I'm having an okay day, or my life's going okay, nothing majorly exciting, but nothing like seriously wrong. That form of exercise usually gets me into a more joyful state. I feel better, I feel more excited, I get some ideas. And also, if I'm in a really bad place, I might get a bit more neutral, I might feel a bit okay about things, right? Well, one thing I'm going to suggest is morning movement. And this could be yoga, this could be stretching, this could be a walk. Going out and then doing something to really create motion to therefore help with that emotion. First thing. Second thing is exercise every single day, right? Schedule something in, and depending on what you like, do something you enjoy. If you don't go to the gym, you set yourself 1 to 2 hours to go to the gym a day, that's not going to sustain. You got to stick to something you can sustain. 20 minutes is great, right? It's better to do 20 minutes every day than it is to go to the gym like 2 hours once a week, right? And then really forcing yourself to do that. It's better to be consistent. So maybe it's dance for you, maybe it's walking to begin with. I would say if you're able, obviously depending on your body and where you're at, maybe it's like mixing up with gym, maybe it's gym classes. Gym classes is a great thing to do, right? They're particularly better now that all the new year, new me's have gone away. Um, I'm not a massive fan of that in January, so I avoid the gym usually. I just do my exercises elsewhere. But you could go to a gym class. That's a really good way to kind of get daily exercise, 20 minutes. Okay, and then the next point is schedule time for movement through your day. One of my mentors had a really good technique, and I apply this, and it's every 1 to 2 hours, your phone goes off to create some kind of movement. Now, depending on what movement you can do with your body, I've got a rebounder. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've just opened up my video and you can see my rebounder behind me, right? That's something you can jump up and down on, and that creates a different kind of motion when you jump up and down on it. So schedule time through your day for that movement as well to really help yourself into a better state. Okay, now I want to get into an extra point. I just want to mention again though that if you really want to keep up to speed with the latest episodes and have a weekly confidence insight, then all you got to do is sign up for the free newsletter below in the link in the show notes. Just click that and I'll give you a weekly update of all the episodes and a weekly confidence update tip for you. So my extra one I really want to say is if you're in a state, as like the things I just said are quite proactive, but also if you're in a place, and we're talking about motion creates emotion, if you're in a place where you're not feeling so great, one thing a lot of people try to do, and Tony Robbins talks about this, and I really want to share it, is people start with a strategy like, what do I need to do to fix things? And then what they'll start doing is they think they're going to create a better belief and then they're going to feel better. It's actually the other way around, in that you do some movement to get yourself feeling better, then you'll create some different beliefs and stories in your head, and then you'll come up with an idea. So if you're like really stuck, instead of trying to fix a problem, sat on the sofa with your hands holding your head, then just do some kind of movement, jump up and down 10 times, press ups, go for a walk quickly, do whatever you can, do whatever what's best for you, because then that'll create a change in physiology and therefore start impacting your thoughts as a result. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because when you start moving, that's going to change the feelings in your body, and quite a lot of things are stored in our body. Now, I'd also say do things like breath work as well, because that can really release. Working with the somatic coaches can be highly effective as well, because they can really give you specifics on what to do on releasing certain things from your body. But movement, motion creates emotion. So that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives for being the best you. And remember, you're in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.